Hi, this is Anne from Music Discoveries, and this mini lesson is for beginners. So in this mini lesson, I'd like to help you learn the first piece from my collection called For the Birds. The first piece is called Swan Serenade, and I'd love to help you learn it in this short little mini lesson. So go get your harp and let me help you learn. Now, the first thing that we need to talk about is landmark notes. So we're going to be using C's as your landmark notes. Now, the one that you probably know is your middle C. It looks like this on the grand staff and sounds at this pitch. That's the middle C that I can sing. Now, on my harp, it's actually the middle C, but that, of course, depends on the size of your harp. Now, middle C, since it's right in the middle, is sometimes played with the right hand and sometimes played with the left hand, and that notation might look a little different on the grand staff. Here's a right hand middle C, and here's a left hand middle C. Now, the left hand will also be going down to what I call a bass C. Bass C is in space 2 in the bass clef on the lower staff. So reach down with your left hand and play your bass C. Good. Now, the right hand will also be coming up to the treble C. Now, treble C is in the third space in the treble clef. Space 3, treble C. So those are the 3 C's that you'll be using in this piece. And in this entire collection for the birds, I have color-coded some of the important landmark notes. So the C's are always going to be red, because I really want you to get used to recognizing those landmark C's. And by the way, if you notice that some of the notes are blue, those are F's, because of course your blue string is F, isn't it? And your red strings are always C's. Okay, so that gets us started. Now let's take a closer look at the piece. How about I'll play the first line for you, just so you can have a listen, and just listen and watch, and then we'll start to break it down so you can play it too. Okay, here we go. Beautiful and relaxing, right? Just like a swan. So let's take a closer look. The first important element, because this is a quick mini lesson, we're going to work rather quickly. So the most important first element is learning about right hand placing and bracketing. So let's look closely at measure 1, and you'll see the first 3 notes include that middle C with finger 3. That's your long finger, your middle finger. It says to put a finger 2, your pointer finger, on D, that's the next note higher. And your thumb, number 1, is going to go on a G. Okay, now you might not recognize that that's a G right now. That's okay, don't worry about that. So here's what it looks like on my hand. I've got 3 on C, 2 on D, and thumb on G. Now the bracket that's covering over those 3 notes is telling us that we need to place those 3 fingers at the same time as a group. Okay, we don't play the notes one by one in the way that you might do on the piano. On the harp, we need to think of placing fingers in groups. So take your hands off the strings and let's find that again. Just come close to the strings with your hand gently closed. And then open the fingers gently and see if you can place the C, D, and G as a group. And I want you to notice some things about my hand position. Notice that my fingers are nice and low on the string and my thumb is higher. I'm imagining a big clock on the wall, and I'm imagining that my pointer finger and my middle finger are at a 7 o'clock angle, and my thumb is more at a 10 o'clock angle, okay? We don't want the fingers to get too close together. You don't have enough room to close and make a beautiful sound. Okay, that's something that takes a while to work on, okay? Now, so why don't you do this with me now? I'm going to come in close on my hand so you can watch and follow along with me. Are you ready? So there's my hand close up. Now I'm going to close my finger 3. The C is first, and I'll play and close right into the palm of my hand. Send those fingers right to the palm. Now finger 2 is going to play. Now I don't want to play my thumb quite yet because the music says that I need to link, change direction, and get ready to play an E. So let's bring that finger 2 back open and place it on the E. Okay, now play your thumb, and now finger 2 can close and play the E. So you just linked those 4 notes nice and smooth. Let's do that again. It's probably one of the more important technical elements in the piece, so let's try to get it right. So hover, open, and place. You're looking for C, D, and G. Now close finger 3 on C, 2 on D. Don't play your thumb yet. We need to link. So reopen the hand, and you can go ahead and place your finger 2 on the E. Now play your thumb, and now play finger 2. Beautiful. The next note is just a single finger 2 on a D. So step down and play D. Beautiful. Good. Let's do it one more time. Open and place. Are you getting better at finding that hand position? So C plays, then D. Now reopen the hand, play the thumb, and place the E. There, we did that a little bit differently, a little bit more refined this time. Now play E. Finger 2 opens and play the D. Good. Now the great news, if we look at the next measure, is we open and place exactly the same way. So get ready. We play C, play D, reopen and hover over that E. Now play the thumb and place your E. Good. Finger 2 plays, and you're done. Good. Lovely job. So there's the right hand broken down very, very carefully. Shall we look at the left hand next? So in the first measure of the left hand, it says to use a pointer finger 2. And we're on the G that's below middle C. So it should be the one that sounds like this. Now, if you've ever used mnemonics for reading notes, you might recognize this one as all cows eat grass. So this is in space 4. That's a G, so make sure you've got the same pitch that I do. So there's your G. Got it? Don't have to do anything in the second measure. That's a rest. That's a whole measure rest. So silence for the left hand. Measure 3. Oh, look, it's a G again. So we just do it again. By the way, that note is getting 4 beats. That's a whole note, which counts for 4 pulses. And then look in the fourth measure, that's a red note. So we know that's a C. Remember, in space 2, we're going down to that bass C in the left hand. Okay, now let's work on putting that line hands together. Okay, so the left hand will play the G first. I'll play first. You can just watch the notes here. I'll talk it through. You can play with me if you're ready, or just listen and watch, and I'll go again. So the left hand plays first, then the right hand, C, D, E, link to the E, 1, 2, and then 2 beats on the D. Left hand plays first, C, D, G, and then notice my 2 notes play at the same time here. The E plus the left hand C coordinate, we play them together. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, let's get ready to do that together. Okay, fingers ready. Your left hand is on G, there it is right there. Right hand on C, D, and G. 1, 2, ready, play. Left, C, D, G, link to E. 1, 2, play D. 1, 2, left hand G, left, C, D, G. Get ready for hands together. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. Nice work. Let's go ahead and look at the next line because I think you're going to be really pleased. So in measure 5, look at that. We start the same way with the G. Same right hand. Link to E again. Yay, 2 for the price of 1. And D. Good. Now the next 2 lines are a little bit different, but they're not difficult. Now remember the bracket says place those 3 fingers at the same time as a group. So my notes are middle C, D, and E. So we want to place 3, 2, and 1 as a group. And notice how my fingers are nice and low on the strings and my thumb is up higher. There's probably, 3 inches between those contact points. Okay, so there's my right hand. The left hand, do you recognize that note? Space 4 in the bass clef. Oh, cows eat grass. That's my G. So it sounds like C, D, E, G in the left hand, and then right hand plays the C. Okay, let's go back to the beginning of that line. We'll play that together. Okay, left hand G is ready, right hand C, D, G. 1, 2, ready, play. Left C, D, G. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now place C, D, E, C, D, E, G, C, 2, 3, 4. Okay, really good. That's a nice start on those 2 lines. Now let's go ahead and flip to the next page. The middle section has an interesting reading challenge, which might be quite new to you. So I want to go over this with you. So let's look at measure 9. Now I'm going to play this. And I want you just to watch the notes and watch me play. Just listen and absorb what happens from measure 9 through to measure 12. Here we go. So that's what we're listening for. Now, you might be thinking that since there are no notes in the bass clef on that lower staff, you might be thinking, oh, well, I guess the left hand doesn't play on this line. Well, that's not true, because what's happening, you probably noticed, is yes, indeed, the left hand is playing, and it's playing on the higher side of the harp, up in the treble clef range. So if you look closely, you'll see that the first note the first note is in the treble clef, but there's a little LH symbol, which is a clue saying play this note with the left hand. The finger number 2 is under the note, which is one of my clues to say that's a left hand. And the stem is pointing down in a way that's breaking the normal rules for stems. So sometimes if both hands are playing on the same staff, in this case in the treble clef, we'll use a secondary rule where stems down will be for left hand and stems up will be for right hand. Okay, so this is not the default stems rule. This is an exception to the rule to help us know which hand is playing. So first note is an F for the left hand. And then the right hand will place G and C. Oh, look, it's that treble C that we talked about, right? Let's find that again. Left hand pointer finger on your F, the one that's above middle C. And then the right hand is right next door on G with finger 2 and C with your thumb. By the way, the right hand is playing an interval of a fourth. Right? That's 1, 2, 3, 4 strings. You're skipping 2 strings. So left hand F, G, C. Okay, so that's how the notation is working in this section. Now, let's just shine a spotlight on the 4 notes that the left hand is going to play. So in measure 9, we already found out that the left hand is playing an F, right? Look in the next measure. Is the left hand moving up or down? We're going down 1 note, that's an E. Look in the next measure. Are we going up or down? down one note, we're going to a D. And in the next measure, oh look, it's red, we're going down to a middle C. Do you see how simple that left hand is? We're just going F, E, D, C, just stepping down. All right, so not too tricky. Now let's try that together. Ready? So left hand pointer finger, and let's hold each one for 4 beats. Ready, play. F, 2, 3, 4. Step to E, 2, 3, down to D. 1, 2, 3, 4, and C. 1, 2, 3, 4. Great. Now we'll take a look at the right hand. We already figured out that it's G and C, an interval of a fourth. Look at the next measure, same or different? Same, right? So we got 2 for the price of 1. In the next measure, it's almost the same, except your thumb is now on B. This is now an interval of a third. We're only skipping 1 string. So it's G, B. And then in the last measure, we're back to G and C. So the right hand is quite simple. Shall we try it? Let's start at measure 9. We'll go nice and slow and play both hands together. Okay, left hand is on F, right hand on G, C. 1, 2, ready, play. F, G, C. Left hand on E, G, C again. Left hand on D, G, B this time. Got it? Left hand on middle C, and back to G, C. Shall we go again? 1, 2, ready, play. Step to E. Step to D. Right hand thumb goes down 1. That's G, B. Good. Step to middle C. Good, you're really on the home stretch now. Let's look at measure 13 and we'll study this next line. Okay, let's approach it the same way. Let's look at one hand at a time. So left hand first at measure 13. So the left hand has 2 notes to play. Do you see there's a bracket? You notice the bracket is under the notes. The fingering is under the notes. The stems are pointing down. These are left hand notes. Okay, that's your clue. And so we have a blue F plus G, so neighboring strings, F, G. Okay, next measure, a little bit different. We're opening up to E, G. That's an interval of a third. Okay, should we do those again? So start with F, G. That's an interval of a second or a step. Then in the next measure, opening up to E, G, interval of a third. Now in the next measure, this one is the challenging one. Use 3 on D, thumb on A. Now take a minute. These are both white. Okay, D and A. Ready? D, A. Yeah, that's probably a little bit of a surprise to your ears without the right hand. And the left hand will play the last note in the line. I even gave you the little LH clue, and that is a G. Okay. Now let's take a look at the right hand. I promise the right hand is easier. In measure 13, it says, all right, your finger 2 is on red, that's C, and your thumb is on D. Now practice opening and placing those 2 fingers at the same time. Ready? Thumb is first. So you're stepping down or going down a second. Next measure, same thing. So D, C. Next measure, same thing plus 1 more note. So place D, C, and B with 3 fingers. D, C, and B. Okay, let's put it together and find out how that sounds. I'll go first so you can watch and listen and just absorb, and then I'll go again so you can play along with me. Sounds like this. Here's that D, A, so tricky. Now 3 fingers placed, and then G. Beautiful. Why don't you try it along with me? 1, 2, ready, play. D, A. Place 3 fingers, ready? D, C, B. And then G at the end. Good, beautiful job. Okay, you're doing really well. So why don't we go back and we'll do those 2 lines together, starting at measure 9, all the way down to measure 16. So the left hand is on your F, right hand is on an interval of a fourth, that's G and C. Here we go. 1, 2, ready, play. F, G, C. Now step down to E. Same G, C. Step down to D. G, B this time. Step down to middle C. G, C again. Good. Next line, let's take a moment. Place F, G. And in the right hand, place D, C. Okay, left hand first. It's 2, thumb, thumb, 2. Now place E and G. Okay, white strings. Right hand, same placing. 2, thumb, thumb, 2. Now here's the hard one. D and A with 3 and 1. Right hand, place 3 fingers. D, A, thumb on D, C, B, and the last note is G with the left hand. Okay, let's go one more time, and this time I'm not going to talk you through it. We'll just play it nice and steady so you can play with me. Okay, measure 9. 1, 2, ready, play. How'd you do? Good. You're doing such a good job with this. Now, the great news is the last 2 lines are the same as the first 2 lines. So we could say that the form of the piece is A, B, A. So as our grand finale for the mini lesson, why don't we play through the entire piece beginning to end? You might not be quite ready to do that with me today, but after you've practiced, you could come back to this spot and have a goal for yourself to be able to play along with me. Okay, it's not a performance tempo. This is still a practice tempo. If you want to hear the performance tempo for the song, you can go up here, there, right up there, and I'll put the link to the performance video so you can hear what that sounds like. So let's get ready to play from the very beginning. Lovely job with this mini lesson. By the way, if you enjoy doing mini lessons like this with me and you like this teaching style and pacing, please remember to head over to musicdiscoveries.podia.com. That's where I have all of my courses, and I'm sure you'll find a course that's at a nice level for you. Those courses are usually about an hour and a half long, so you get nice, thorough, solid instruction. Okay, here we go, starting at the beginning. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hands together, remember, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Find your F, F, G, C. Step down to E. 1, 2. Step down to D. Step down to C. Now left hand on F, G. Left hand on E, G. Left hand on D, A. 3 fingers. Left hand plays the G. And last line. 1, 2, 3, 4. Link and hands together. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Beautiful job. And did you notice on the very last line at measure 21, there's a message that says both hands 8VA higher. That means that both hands will move up 1 octave higher than written. Did you hear that happen when I played? So you move to the high G and C, D, G. And also at the second to last measure, rit is Italian for ritardando, which means to gradually slow down. And that's a nice way to bring the piece to a graceful ending. So lovely job in your mini lesson. I hope you enjoyed that. Let me know in the comments if you would like more beginner harp lessons. I'm happy to do that. And come on over to Podia, musicdiscoveries.podia.com for more courses from me. Thank you so much for watching.